Imagine walking into a grocery store and realizing that every box of candy on the shelf could be a death sentence. In 1984, Japan didn't have to imagine. A shadowy organization called the Monster with 21 Faces turned the nation's favorite sweets into weapons of terror. They kidnapped a billionaire, set factories ablaze, and sent letters to the police laughing at their every move. They weren't just after money. They wanted to prove that the law was powerless against a monster with no face.
In the mid-90s, a phantom menace brought Japan's biggest corporations right to their knees.
This is the story of an unsolved case that kicked off with a truly brazen crime. It all started March 18, 1984. The CEO of Glico was abducted from his own home. The ransom was huge. But then, just 3 days later, the CEO miraculously escapes all on his own. You'd think the ordeal was over, right? Nope. A new terror was just beginning, with a very theatrical name. They started sending these taunting letters to the cops and the media, just completely mocking them. I mean, their tone was just so arrogant, playful even. They had zero respect for the police. Then, things got way more serious. They claimed they'd laced Glico candy with potassium cyanide, so Glico had to pull everything off the shelves. The financial hit was absolutely devastating. After saying they'd forgive Glico, the monster just moved on to another huge candy company. And this time, it was real. Cops found over a dozen packages of candy laced with actual cyanide. But here's the weird part. They actually labeled the poison boxes, almost like a sick warning. Okay, so the police are scrambling, trying to stop all this chaos, and they finally get a lead. During a money drop, an investigator spots this strange guy, describing him as having eyes like a fox. They spotted this fox-eyed man twice, but both times, he just vanished, leaving the police with nothing. The investigation was massive. We're talking over 1 million officers involved. And yet, 0 arrests. All this pressure and public failure, it eventually took a really tragic toll on law enforcement. And just 5 days after that tragedy, the monster sent their last and most chilling letter. In it, they actually mocked the dead officer, and then declared they were done torturing food companies. And just like that, silence. After that final letter, the monster with 21 faces was gone. Years went by, no arrests were ever made, and eventually, the statute of limitations just ran out. So, decades later, who were they? Well, there are still a bunch of theories floating around.
The case is legendary for its strange signature. No deaths, massive psychological fear, and a perfect getaway.
So who was it? Disgruntled employees, the Yakuza, or just people who enjoyed causing chaos?
Ultimately, we're just left to wonder who was really behind the mask of the monster. And maybe the biggest question of all, why did they stop? Why just disappear forever?
The police mobilized 30,000 officers. They chased a man with fox eyes through train stations and back alleys, only for him to slip through their fingers like smoke. The monster sent over 100 letters mocking the investigators and even giving them tips on how to catch them. But the final trace they left wasn't a body or a ransom bag. It was a letter declaring they were bored with the game. Let's trace the cold, calculated steps of the ghost that defeated the Japanese police.
Today, we are diving deep into one of Japan's most chilling and elaborate unsolved crimes. It's a story about corporate terror, a phantom mastermind, and a police force that was always somehow one step behind. This is the incredible story of the monster with 21 faces. This quote really just gets right to the heart of the mystery, doesn't it? For 17 long months, this person or group terrorized an entire country, but their endgame is still a total puzzle. So what are we looking at here? Was the monster with 21 faces a single brilliant criminal? Or was this something much bigger? A sophisticated organization trying to bring Japan's economy to its knees? So where does a story like this even begin? Well, it wasn't with a quiet threat or a taunting letter. No, this all kicked off with an act of pure, shocking violence that set the stage for 17 months of absolute chaos. I mean, just try to picture this. It's March 18th, 1984. 2 armed, masked men storm the home of a major corporate president, Katsuhisa Izaki, and they abduct him naked right out of his own bathtub. The ransom demand was just staggering, 1 billion yen and 100 kilograms of gold bullion. But here's the first wild twist in this story. Just 3 days later, Izaki manages to escape his captors all on his own.
Now you'd think that would be the end of it, right? But Izaki's escape wasn't the end. Oh no, it was just the beginning. The kidnapping escalated into a 17-month-long campaign of psychological warfare that literally held the entire nation hostage. After Izaki got away, the criminals didn't just fade into the woodwork. They rebranded. They came back with this new, incredibly theatrical identity, the Monster with 21 Faces, a name they actually lifted from a famous Japanese detective novel. And this is when they started sending these arrogant, taunting letters straight to the media and the police, just mocking their every single move. The taunts were one thing, but the monster's game was about to escalate to a whole new, absolutely terrifying level of public threat. This was their brand new strategy, economic warfare. The monster publicly claimed that they'd laced Glico candies with potassium cyanide. Fearing for public safety, Glico, of course, had no choice. They pulled every single one of their products from shelves all across Japan. The financial hit was immediate, and it was catastrophic.
And when I say catastrophic, I mean it. Just look at these numbers. Glico lost over $21 million. 450 people were laid off. And get this, over 1.2 million police officers were mobilized to hunt for the monster. And the craziest part of all of this, they did all this damage without ever collecting a single yen in ransom.
So after crippling Glico, the monster just moved on to its rival, the Morinaga Candy Company. And this time, it wasn't a bluff. They actually placed poisoned candy boxes on store shelves. But, and this is where it gets really strange, the criminals included this bizarre, contradictory little detail, one that gives us a chilling insight into what their true motives might have been.
They put these little stickers on the poison boxes warning people not to eat them. Now that is a fascinating psychological detail. It's like they wanted to create the maximum amount of fear and disruption possible, but it seems they didn't actually want to cause mass casualties. It was all just a part of their elaborate, twisted game.
So with the entire public in a state of panic, the police were desperately chasing their one and only significant lead, a mysterious figure who would soon become the face of this faceless enemy. Okay, so during a sting operation for a ransom drop, an investigator is on a train, and he realizes he's being watched. He gets a good look at the guy. He's well-built, has short hair, and one very distinct feature: eyes like those of a fox. That's the description that stuck, and the suspect forever became known as the Fox-Eyed Man. He was actually spotted again at another stakeout, but both times he expertly evaded the police, further humiliating this massive investigation. The police nearly caught him again. An officer, who wasn't even aware of the main stakeout, confronted a suspicious driver who just sped off and vanished. But when the police found the abandoned car, they discovered the secret to the monster's success: a radio scanner tuned to 6 different police jurisdictions. These guys weren't just elusive, they knew every single move the police were making before they even made it. The constant public humiliation, the immense pressure of the investigation, it all finally reached a tragic and horrible breaking point for law enforcement. After a failed stakeout in his area, the Shiga police superintendent, a man named Yamamoto, took his own life. It was a completely devastating moment in the case. And just 5 days later, the monster sent their final, and perhaps their most disturbing, message. With this incredibly cold, callous farewell, they announced their retirement. They mocked Superintendent Yamamoto's death, declared their game was officially over, and then, after 17 months of terror, they just disappeared. And that, of course, leaves us with the ultimate questions. Who was the monster with 21 faces? And why on earth did they just vanish at the absolute height of their infamy? Well, the theories are compelling, but none of them fit perfectly. Could they have been disgruntled insiders? Maybe, but that doesn't explain targeting so many different companies. What about the Yakuza? I mean, they're known for sophisticated extortion, but this theatrical style just wasn't their MO. Anti-corporate radicals? Well, they never issued any kind of manifesto, which leaves the most chilling possibility. They were psychological masterminds who just enjoyed the chaos. Or maybe the chaos itself was just a smokescreen. Could their real goal have been financial, manipulating stock prices while everyone was distracted by poisoned candy? It would explain why they stopped so suddenly. Once the money was made, the game was over. And here's the final nail in the coffin. By the year 2000, the statute of limitations on all the charges related to this case, all of them, expired. Officially, the monster with 21 faces got away with it. Nobody was ever charged for a single one of the crimes.
The monster with 21 faces left a permanent scar on Japan. It's a phantom that could have been anyone, anywhere. They could be standing right next to you in a crowd. And that leaves us with a final, deeply unsettling thought. Has the monster truly disappeared? Or, having achieved whatever their real goals were, are they just out there, waiting for a new game to begin? Who do you think they were?
The monster with 21 faces proved that some traces are impossible to follow, disappearing into the shadows of the city. But while some vanish by choice, others are claimed by the sea. Stay tuned, because the next case takes us to the treacherous Strait of Malacca, where a ghost ship was found with a crew of frozen corpses, their faces locked in a silent scream of terror. This is Terminal Trace.